You approach a shambling man by the apple pile. He does not acknowledge your presence. He is unaware of you. Glancing under his hood, you catch a blank expression spread upon a dried face. He does not even turn to look at you. This is a reanimated corpse. The zombie does not even grunt in your direction. He just keeps working, slowly. You grip the voting card firmly in your gloved hand. It is indeed yours. Keep it safe. The zombie actually turns to glance at you with hollow eyes. The zombie carefully places another apple at the top of the pile. He does not have an opinion of any kind. Politics, it is not good for your soul. With your fingers fumbling about in his mouth, your grip over the fancy magical tooth slips, and he bites down. You instinctively move your hands away, but he still gets a quick nibble in. You're in his mouth. Cease this rummaging through undead maws, please. Yes, it is only just. Undead are not to be allowed in Norvik. The zombie is attempting to clear a path through the apple pile. He's probably been at it for a long time. Yes, deal with this foul creature. Don't let this shambler get the jump on you now. You're quick, you got this. Your turn, show him no mercy. No, stay, do not make the first move. You take a deep breath. Staring at the zombie's every move, you stay put. The slow zombie just stands there. No, he's reacting. It's just taking some time. The zombie is hostile. This undead abomination must be apprehended before he causes damage to innocents. Does that include you? You should probably try to de-escalate. Just a tip. This is a hollow animated corpse. He's magically bound to listen to orders. So, anything, just try it. The zombie does not seem to respond. Maybe it's just delayed. Don't give up. His neck snaps around, the withered face now facing yours. The zombie bites down on you hard. The pain is temporary. Okay, this zombie is off the hook. You didn't really do anything to piss him off, did you? This ends now, your final chance. Do not falter. Him out? No. Your powerful iron fist seemingly gets no weight behind it. As it hits the zombie's hide, it feels like hitting a dam wall. The zombie appears unmoved as you stumble backwards. Did it take pity on you? You and your violent ways. This fight is over, for now. Looking inside, you find this pot to be empty. Most contain strange herbs or ashes. This one does not. The pot was recently emptied. You can still see remnants of dust at the bottom. There is fear. You must grow sturdier. The pale man sits hunched over a stack of forms. Busy at work, his pencil slowly filling out line after line. On the top paper, you see an icon of a serpentine drake. That symbol, it's on a lot of official documents of the city. That is the Great Perch of Norvik. Great perch, the drake-like sea creature found along River Torna. Urth was known to tame these creatures, and eventually the great perch became the symbol of his great city. Up and about are we. Death, this is death. I am Viskin, local entrepreneur and proprietor of this lich house. It appears you don't really belong here, but if there is anything I can do, cleric, just let me know. He smiles at you. Books and flasks litter the circular chamber. It's dimly lit and damp. There are several corpses present. He puts down his pen. Your life is your own. You owe me nothing, however. I'm afraid to say you've been through quite the turmoil, cleric. Those fishermen who brought you here certainly thought so. Eyes of the working men do not deceive. Not that I blame them. You weren't exactly in prime condition. They'd caught you in their net, believe it or not. Keep asking questions. He loves the sound of your voice. The pale man stops for a moment. He looks you up and down. Note a river, the river. I'm afraid I don't have much to tell. Perhaps you fell off one of the bridges to Tolstad. There are 7 bridges over River Torna, connecting Tolstad to the rest of the city. Perhaps you would know, cleric. River guilders, I believe. They did not look like poachers, so my guess would be that. Find them, they hold the truth. He ponders your question. I did not ask for names, sorry to say, but perhaps Waterlane, that's just a guess. Waterlane, the largest trade port in Norvik, located in a massive tunnel piercing the center of Tolstad. It is a so-called marvel of dwarven engineering, and it's the reason so many people commute to Tolstad over the many bridges, considered as one of the great crafted wonders of the world. Either that or the local tavern. I hope you find them. Do you now? You glare at the pale man, who keeps working on his documents for approximately 2 minutes. Eventually, you feel stuck in your thoughts. I don't mean to imply I know more than an honorable Earthguard member, my good cleric. However, you must certainly have more important things to do on a day like this. He's correct. Maybe you can get back to this later. Some dice checks are locked on failure and can be attempted again later. I wish you luck with your endeavors. how quaint. We're closely connected with the city below. The undead seemingly wander as they please. City below, short for the city below the city, a phrase used to describe the incredible amount of tunnels and ruins below Norvik. Lots of monsters and stuff down there. Also riches, if you delve deep enough. The city below the city, the vast ruins found underneath Norvik. Most define it as the parts of the city not yet civilized, although there is a legal definition set in place for each individual district. However, I will have to take this up with Lady Sageleaf. I pay good crowns for HWBT protection. HWBT, the Halfway Bridge Tribe, commonly called the Halfways, one of the 3 goblin tribes in Norvik and arguably the most influential, despite their small size, led by Lady Miska Sageleaf, with their headquarter in the Goblin Garden on Tolstad. Goblin Garden, a dwarven-built citadel, sitting at the southernmost tip of Tolstad. It is now a goblin sanctuary and greenhouse. Oh, so it's all a misunderstanding then. Good. HM, what do you mean, cleric? I greatly apologize for putting you in this situation. It is my neglect that led to this undead creature entering the tower. I will make sure to tighten up security in the future. Ost, way do a clean sweep of the basement this evening. Get ready. The kobold gives a screeched yell. Yes, master. I will also make sure to report this to both the HWBT and the militia. Of course, I'll be sure to ask for a thorough inspection by the PCG. Pest Control Guild, one of the oldest guilds in Norvik. They are supposed to keep monsters at bay and clean up any unwanted critters across the city. These days, they are so bogged down in requests from citizens and the city that they usually have backlogs for months. If there is anything unbecoming about my business here, it shall be uncovered and unveiled. Holy shit, he just keeps going. Thank you very much for your service, cleric. It is because of great men like you that the city still stands. I'm sure a good word to your patriarch will assure a promotion of some kind as well. Especially with this great work you're doing on the tea shop, this. Focus on the main point. Il zombie go. The pale man opens his mouth to respond. He closes his mouth and looks at you. The bone purge, yes, 1 a.m. aware. The pale man takes a deep breath. He reaches below into his desk and brings forth a pouch. An isolated incident, it will not be repeated. He hands it to you. As a city cleric, you obviously have the ability to accept Dagsptur on behalf of Norvik. Dagsptur, Dwarven for day, fine. Some might call it legal extortion, but it really depends on the district. Violation of the Bone Purge Code, Article 4. In singular violation cases, a Dagsptur of minor class is issued in relation to my status as a Tolstad business owner. How does he know that? Well done, justice has prevailed. Now that this issue is behind us, anything else you needed? Of course, cleric, anything for the city. Your shaky voice makes you sound positively Fortvivlad. Fortvivlad, Dwarvish word, meaning desperation, anguish, hysteria brought on from mental pain. FRT Vivlad, complete and utter despair of flesh and bone. I don't mean to tell you what to do, cleric, but there is a certain rumor that our local goblin chieftain is waiting for you. Lady Miska Sageleaf is her name. She is down in the Goblin Garden. Of course you've heard of her. Lady Sageleaf is quite famous. They call her the Dragon of Tolstad. The pale man stares at you for quite some time. I will offer you some advice, cleric. Lady Sageleaf is a powerful ally. I would even go so far as to call her de facto lawkeeper here on this island fortress. Wait, this is part of the job, talking with some petty goblin queen. You may find her at the southern tip of Tolstad, the pale man says, and keeps scribbling on his papers in front of you. A slight smirk creeps onto his face. I sadly don't have time for a proper lecture at the moment. After the election, I could make time, if you're interested. Until then, you are free to browse my collection, he says, glancing at the many books along the western wall. Charm Person, a first-level enchantment spell. If the target fails a wisdom check, you may be their favorite person for a little while. Of course, after that they will surely hate you. But who cares about that? A copy of Charm Person. It will surely be useful to you. A truly diabolical spell. The towers teach it only to higher-tier spellcasters usually, despite its first level. Lovely, now you can make people like you. Two ways. You could spend time learning them, drafting pages out of the palace archives, or the great library in the towers, since you obviously would have some access to that. However, I don't believe you have time for either of those options. So I would suggest the other route. Spell scrolls. Indeed, now Tolstad is filled with all kinds of strange caches, so you'll probably encounter more by just looking around. If you get your hands on a scroll, then just memorize it. Cantrips or spells, doesn't matter. I'm sure you're talented enough to memorize them on the spot. He nods to you and goes back to his writing. Oh, I mean, of course. As a wizard, you memorize your spells before casting them. As an arcane cleric, you must memorize your spells during prayer at a shrine. There's one downstairs by the apples. There's the Temple of Urth, of course. It's just up. The stairs past the pillar. There's also one on Water Lane View, I believe, past the trade post. You'll find more hidden around every corner. I can promise you that. Very well. If you want to practice, feel free to cast anything non-lethal on my servant Ost. Treating a servant like that is despicable. He nods slowly. He stops for a second and glares at you. A heavily armored man in Earthguard colors with a prayer book on his hip. Thoughts land on the pages of spells you've meticulously worked on for years. The book is not in your possession right now, but it must be near if the pale man has seen you with it. They might have found you in the river, but you're clearly of city stock. Good for you, though I'd love to ask, what type of cleric are you? Yes, if you are a clergyman, you might run a congregation for a local religion or deity. Holy man on a holy mission. Then there are clerics of the bureaucratic variety, city officials speaking for the religious state. You, however, must be an arcane cleric. I figured as much when I saw your spellbook. Or do you call it a prayer book? Either way, you clearly play Jor's strings as much as you channel this divinity. Before you do, make sure to collect all your belongings. He gives you a quick inspection with his dead eyes, too quick, like he's trying not to show his interest. Weird. Quite a lot. Your uniform, your cloak, and also a voting card. A peculiar voting card. Every party had been marked on it. I'm assuming it's yours. The pale man ignores your comment. I asked Oz to lay the surviving pages of your spellbook to dry. Over there, he says, and points across the chamber. He then looks at the pocket watch on his desk. That is an esoteric pocket watch. You may have it, cleric. It will surely prove useful to you. Beyond that, you should be good. None, I'm afraid. They must be at the bottom of River Torna. Good, you do not need arms in the city. You need heart. The pale man turns his face towards you and smiles. If only every government employee were as devoted as you, cleric. He gives you a stern expression. Good luck on your quest. His words burn a hole in your heart. Intelligence, the stone slabs are designed to slide along the iron beams. Interesting. Intelligence, Jor left his mark across the bands. Today, IT is a universal sign of magic. Strength, the red eye of Urth. You flip the tome open. There are fine and hand-written letters scattered across the pages. While the symbols appear to be readable, you do not understand the language. De verbis draconum, Ars occulta, the author's name, appears to be Calum de Minorie. No, you have no idea what this means.